Hello everyone, welcome to Tom and Arnold Talk Movies. I am Tom, this is Arnold.
Hello there.
Today we're going to be talking about Happiness. This was written and directed by Todd Solondz. This film follows several interconnecting stories revolving around three sisters, and it's a fucking crazy fucking ride. Arnold, what did you think of Happiness?
I absolutely adore it. I think it's a fucking great film. It's just the way the film tackles like really sensitive sort of issues, and the way it injects comedy. Like, it's so well done without being too tasteless. I honestly love it. I think everyone is so great. It's an ensemble piece cast, which, you know, they all complement each other. The dialogue's great. I love the awkwardness of it all.
Actors are great.
Actors are great. The irony and the juxtaposition in terms of certain scenes we'll get to in a minute, fucking amazing. What did you think?
I loved it as well. I saw this a few years ago, probably like 10 years ago or something, and it's always stuck with me because it's just nuts. It's an uncomfortable film to watch, because there's a lot of talk about various topics which are quite mad. And but it is genuinely like,
It's got a lot to say, I think.
yeah, it's very fucking funny though as well.
I can't believe a film that was made back in '98 didn't get any sort of like I don't know, it wasn't like controversial at the time. It must have been. I mean, for God's sake.
People weren't bitches.
Exactly.
They
man.
weren't woke. But see, the thing with this film is that like it's one of those films which I laugh at, but I feel bad for laughing because it's just like there's so many things going on where it's just like, that is funny. But it's cruel, but it is fucking funny.
I think my reasonings for that is the fact that like it's a good way of coping with the harsh realities of life. No matter how awful what you're seeing is, you kind of have to sort of think. The fact that, let's just say that there's a scene where the therapist is looking at a kid, and there's like some weird sort of light-hearted music, and the juxtaposition, it's like the way the film, like the tone of it, it's like, oh my god, it's almost romantic, but it's like he's looking at a 11-year-old kid, and it's stuff like that where it's like it's fucked up, but it's kind of funny at the same time.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just like you feel like, am I a bad person for thinking this is funny? But going on about the father and his son, Dylan Barker, and this is going to be hard to talk about because YouTube's terrible.
Oh my god, the dialogue, Jesus Christ.
But yeah, there's a few scenes with Dylan Barker, who plays Bill Maplewood, and he's talking to his son about a lot of personal stuff.
Dad, do you know how many inches your penis is?
To do with the human body, I suppose.
Yeah.
And it's like, now, probably a normal father would be like, this is a bit sort of thing, we can talk about it, but blah blah blah. But the way he treats it, it's like he's talking like as if they're talking about football.
What it doesn't know is that it's not length that matters. It's width.
He even says, like, do you want me to show you?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just like, oh God. And what makes me laugh is that it's hard to talk about.
I know.
But like, basically the son is upset because he can't do something. And but the dad does this thing, he's like, don't worry, you'll get it, buddy. And then there's that like comedic, like sitcom music, as if it's like an emotional moment.
They've just had a really lovely moment, a lovely bonding moment.
Yeah.
It's like,
And it's just, no, that's fucked up.
I'm not normal.
No, Billy. No. Don't worry, you're normal.
What does cum mean?
And that's what makes it
I
funny.
love it. I fucking love
That's
it.
what makes it funny.
But
man.
you mentioned about the interconnected world, and I fucking love that whole film for it, because it's not because of the characters being related, it's the geographical setting as well, because it's set in an apartment complex, and the fact that all these characters, like, they all have like a cause and effect, And the way the film ties them all together is so fucking well done. Like the fact that Alan, played by Philip Seymour Hoffman, is seeking therapy sessions, and it's the psychiatrist who's the paedophile.
Who's the dad, by the way?
Yeah, he's the dad. Yeah. The fact that Laura Flynn Ball's character, I think she's called
Helen Jordan.
Helen. She lives next door to Alan. And opposite the serial killer neighbor.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it's like the fact that even at the end, spoilers, like the fact that Helen sets up Joy with Alan.
Yeah.
Which is like, it's just that sort of like, everyone has a part to play in this world, and the fact that despite certain circumstances, it all adds up like weirdly well. And it's like, even though I think most of them don't even meet each other, and it's really cleverly well done.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you.
But I'm not laughing.
Talking about that, it's the way Lara Flynn Ball, fuck it, Donna. It's the way like Donna. The reason why she sets her up with Alan Philip Seymour Hoffman, because like he basically does some very dirty prank calls to her, and like I swear a lot of people in this film are fucking pathetic, man.
I honestly,
and it's just like, God.
I love it.
I swear Philip Seymour Hoffman is the fucking embodiment of a fucking Reddit mod, man.
You know what's funny as well? It's like incel. But you know what's funny? You know that part was meant to be for Jack Black.
Was it?
Yeah.
No
Well, I looked it
way.
up on IMDb, so it might be bollocks. But like, it would have completely changed the film if it was Jack. I mean, I like Jack Black, but Philip Seymour Hoffman is the fucking Don.
Great, man. A great fucking actor. I wish he was still around
Trust me, man.
because he's great in The Master. There's a film, and I can't fucking remember it, but it's a film where he plays like a gambler, and he gets more. I fucking can't remember the name of the film. There's one of his last films he did was called God's Pocket, which is another great film. Like, it's just a perfect fucking actor. I'm sure I might be stealing this from something, but he really does become that person. It's like when sometimes you watch stuff and you're like John Lovitz is in this, who I mostly know him because he was in like an episode of Friends.
Tartlet.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Rat Race and that.
Yeah, something like that. Whereas Philip Seymour Hoffman, I suppose in the back of my head, it's like, oh, that's the guy from The Master.
Yeah. But you're completely drawn into him as a character.
He I know this sounds a bit cliche, but he transforms, man. Like the breathing, the sort of sweatiness, and the sort of like
that's funny as
all
fuck,
that
man.
stuff.
I think his characters, he's one of the strongest, not only in terms of performance, but the fact that, to us even, he's just a social outcast. Even though he has a job, he has his own apartment, the fact that he's inexperienced and he has an inferior complex, we see him as a loser anyway. And like the way he is, and like even when he starts talking to the serial killer neighbor, I can't remember her name, but
Christy,
it's
I
like
think.
you can tell, like, he's actually quite a decent guy when you actually get to know him, because he takes her out. They have like a little nice little restaurant scene. Even after that bit, spoilers, when she tells him about the the murder and that, and it's like he's still there for her despite he's actually a decent character.
So
it's just when you obviously you've got to take into account that the whole him calling people and I mean that's pretty fucked up. I mean that fucking scene makes me laugh when he's it's fucking horrible, but he calls up Joy and pretends to be Damien, and like
but she doesn't know.
Exactly. And he goes, "What are you wearing?" And because Joy is so naive, bless her.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, I'm just wearing." And what are you wearing? What are you wearing underneath? He goes, "Oh, and it's just so fucking funny. And it takes her like 5 minutes to realise what he's about. It's just like fucking hell, man.
I don't think he is a decent person. I mean, I think he's.
I think that scene in particular, I like that character because it's showing a three-dimensional quality. Like you when you're first introduced to him, he's a piece of shit that's obviously has some self-esteem issues, and he obviously is uncomfortable with like lack of intimacy. But it's just like when you see that other side to him in the restaurant scene with the serial killer neighbor, it's like you get a full-fledged person. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. But the reason why I still think he's not a decent person altogether is because a lot of it revolves around the way he sees women.
Oh yeah,
and it's just like
it's very unhealthy.
I think my interpretation of him being nice to his neighbour is the fact that he might get something out of it. That's what I get with him, because the whole film is just like, you know, that's all he cares about. He sees his neighbour, he sees Donna as practically an object. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that it's that last bit where he gets rejected by Donna, and he goes into the serial killer's neighbor, and they just lie in bed, and nothing happens. I don't know. It just seemed like a very nice moment. I genuinely don't think he wanted anything off that serial killer neighbor. I think that was the only time where he actually seemed to treat her like an actual person, and I think that's where I got in terms of that sort of, I don't want to say redemption arc, but it is kind of a redemption arc in his character. But I just want to talk about like what I got in terms of like the actual themes of the film, and like obviously the film deals with like loneliness, unfulfillment, and stuff like that. Like what I got out of that with certain characters, like I think one of the interesting characters is the mom, I can't remember, Trish, and like the fact that there's always, she has everything. Like her husband's like a psychiatrist, he's earning quite a bit of money, she's upper class, she's got a family, you know, she's living comfortably, but the fact that she still wants more, and she's always feeling like left out because she doesn't know everything, and like she's always having that sort of like sibling rivalry with her sister Donna, because she's successful, she's written books and stuff like that, and the way her character and Joy's character and their relationship is quite interesting, because she likes Joy because she feels comfort that she isn't Joy, because Joy is a loser. She's better than her. Exactly. And it's just stuff like that. And like what I got out of that is like, when you see like Joy and Trish and people like them, like everyone feels lonely because they compare themselves to other people, and it makes them feel like they're unfulfilled. Like why can't I be this? And it's like, I always thought like we only see what we want, but not what we have in life. And like there's a line that Helen says,
I'm just another sordid exploitationist. If only I'd been raped as a child, then I would know authenticity.
It's a really fucked up line, but I think to me that summarizes that people just aren't satisfied with anything, and they just want more and more. And it's like, people find happiness no matter how morally questionable it is. It's like it still makes them, you know, fulfilled. Yeah. And it's like that whole bit with the psychiatrist, and like that. I mean, it's a fucked up scene. But spoilers. But the scene where his son asks him about whether, you know, he enjoyed what he did, and he actually, you know, full on confessed, like yeah, I'd do it, I would happily do it again. And to him, that was his happiness. And as fucked up as it is, it's like that was his own fulfillment. Yeah, that's pretty much what, because I this is one of those films where it's like I didn't get what it was about, if you know what I mean. Yeah. But then sometimes you have to just think of it simply, and it's just like, this is about a bunch of people to find their way of happiness, even though some of the ways they seek happiness is fucked up. Is really fucked up. Yeah. I think I do like the whole film, but I think what the storyline I could have done without was the parents divorcing. I felt like when it got to that, I wanted to move back on. It was probably the most forgettable aspect of the film, I just wanted it to move on and get back to Joy and Alan and all that stuff. Because to me, the main sort of like strength of the film is the idea of that anyone is capable of like depravity in everyday life, and like the characters you come across, like it challenges like people's perceptions of stereotypes. You know what I mean? Like, because this psychiatrist is, you know, like, you know, he's very intelligent, you know, he's good at what he does, but he's a paedophile. He molests kids and stuff like that, and it's just like the fact that the film challenges your perception of like certain people in societal, you know, norms and stuff like that is very well done. Yeah. See, this is what I mean, though, because it's fucking makes me laugh, but it's so bad. Like, this is what I mean. I feel like I'm gonna put this video and be like, fucking, these people are horrible. But there's that bit where the police catch up to him,
and like they say like, oh, blah blah blah, and he says, oh, so what was this about Ronald Farber? And they're like,
Oh, and
what?
he like name drops the wrong kid.
Yeah, it's just like fucking hell. And there's a bit as well. Oh fuck me, man. Where it's just like his son says, because we know what he's up to, and his son says, "Would you ever do it to me?" And he's like, "No, never. I jerk off." It's just like, oh my god, that's so. It's like, this is what I mean. Like, you laugh at it because it's so shocking, but it's like,
but that's the only way to cope with it.
Yeah,
Like that. That's why I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, I think as well. I mean, what we're talking about, this film sounds like fucking Scram or something, but it's just like, this film though isn't actually that explicit.
No, it's not.
It's not. I mean, there is a lot of fluid going about, it's not like fucked up. We do see some fucked up shit, but it's not like graphic stuff.
It's done in a very intelligent way. I think.
Yeah. It's very good.
But yeah, it's just honestly, like all these characters, apart from the parents, I thought were really interesting. Had their own interesting sort of like aspect about them. Like Joy, she's the sort of like she's unable to find a partner. She's single. She still lives with her parents. And like she's got a failing music career, and like to most people in terms of like societal norms, it's like she's a loser, but she's not. She's just a naive woman that doesn't seem to. I don't know. It's more so like she. It's hard to say. Actually,
I think I in the nicest way possible. I think she's just stupid, man.
Yeah, It's like the fact. I mean, the first scene we see where she splits up with him. We don't really know why. We get the sense that it might be because he's not attractive or something. I don't know if it's that. But then the fact that she has this thing with this this Russian guy. Vlad.
Oh, I gotta say, you know who that's played by? Jared Harris. Who's in Chernobyl?
What the really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I only noticed till like the last sort of scene he was in. I was like, that's fucking Chernobyl guy.
That's fucking blown my mind.
Yeah, man.
What the? He's so good.
Yeah.
But it's just like she's so shit at picking like guys, and it's like he fucking stole from you. And like you still gave him $1,000, and it's like, and I think as well, I think she's dealing with a lot of guilt because of the first date and him committing suicide. The fact that it changes her life. She wants to, help and teach immigrants, English and that. And even though it doesn't go anywhere, it's like it seems like she's always been lost throughout her whole life, and she's very much of a sympathy character. Yeah.
I think this film is a good way of showing how cruel people can be without meaning to, because
exactly.
That scene after she finds out that John Lovitz's character has killed himself is like she's crying and her friend, the colleague, whatever, she's like, oh, what's the matter? And he's like, oh, Andy's died, and she's like, who? And like the three of them are like, oh, was he that guy over there? And he's like, no, it was
That's
him.
fucking funny.
And it's like, it is so fucking
she just
bad.
breaks down in tears while they just think,
and
it's that Latino actor.
yeah. And they're trying to compare him to someone else, and then they completely go off the topic of this man's like committed suicide to like, oh, I saw that. I just so fucking.
I
cool.
honestly think that is such a beautiful summary of like what life is really about.
I love this film.
Sales? May I help you?
Is this Joy Jordan?
Yes.
This is Andy's mother. I hope you fucking rot in hell.
Joy, was he kind of Latino looking?
There is actually, and we should talk about it. There is a spiritual sequel to this, which isn't. It doesn't have the same characters. It doesn't follow the same
Played
characters.
by different actors.
No, it's not. It's not different actors. It's a different story, but it has similar sort of themes and stuff like that. I've never seen it, but I really want to know. Let me just check what that is. The film, which is supposed to be like a spiritual sequel, is Life During Wartime, which I've never seen, but we should talk about that as well because it seems
because it's got the same characters from Happiness, but they're played by different actors.
Oh shit! I'm just reading. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. It's
I didn't know that.
That woman from Harry Potter's in it.
Yeah, because it says here Joy,
Shirley Henderson, whatever.
Yeah, Joy, Trish, and Helen. Oh, I didn't know that. I thought
It's
it was
so
like
weird. That was a flop,
Was it?
Yeah.
Well, see, I'm surprised at this. I know this film did sort of get a bit of awards when it came out, but I am surprised that like it's not sort of spoke about a lot. I mean, you've got some good actors in it. You've got
Yeah.
it's got a good weird story.
It's a very ambitious film.
But it's like I mean, sorry, but we actually watched this on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because there's you can get it on DVD, but used, or if you want a new copy, it's like 150 quid.
I know.
And it's just like, but it's just funny that this film hasn't really gained that
It's
sort of.
proper slept on.
Yeah, it's mad, man. There is, I mean, there's YouTube videos of fucking everything, but
Yeah.
you know, like this one. But it's just like, I'm just surprised that it doesn't really have like a really big, you know, sort of nobody talks about it.
Yeah.
And it is a really good film. I mean, very fucking taboo, but it's very fucking good. I watched this a while ago, and I swear to God, that song at the end has never left my fucking head. I love it, man.
Imprinted.
You know that meme where you've got the two women, and one's like a proper goth, and the other one's got like colourful hair. You know what I'm on about?
Yeah.
It's like you could do that where it's like the lyrics are like the goth woman, and the music is like the happy woman, because the lyrics are so fucking depressing, but the music is fucking great.
Like every REM song.
And it's just like, I love that fucking song, man. I just love it so much. As well with this film, which makes me laugh. Have you watched the trailer for this?
No.
Because the trailer makes it look like fucking there's something about Mary or something. It looks like a proper like comedy, and I can just imagine someone watching this about, oh, this will be like a quirky little romantic
I love
comedy.
how that's a thing.
Yeah. It's like, I reckon this will be quirky, and then they watch it and it's about fucking
Pedophilia.
just stuff like that. Yeah, it's fucking. Oh my
Also,
God.
going back to the interconnected moments, is the fact that the way scenes are organically made, like the very start of the film with the restaurant, like Joy mentions after breaking up with she goes, I'll have to recommend this to my sisters. And there's actually a scene where like the sisters meet up in the same restaurant, and the fact that it gives them a chance to have a character moment themselves, those other sisters. There's a scene where Trish tells Joy to start eating meat because of her skin, and like I think the next scene she's in, she's like cooking meat whilst Philip Seymour Hoffman's
I didn't
trying
notice
to.
that.
Yeah, it's like it's the way these little details come together organically is very well done, I think.
I love the bit where the sister says to her, Trish says to Joy, she's like, everyone thought you'd fail. Everyone.
I never thought you
did."
amount to something.
Everyone.
Yeah.
And she's just staring at her like, oh, thanks for that. Fucking great.
Really,
man.
it's what we all thought. Mom, Dad, Helen, everyone. Oh, I'd always prayed we'd all be wrong, but somehow you'd always just seem so doomed to failure.
I mean, that fucking scene when I think the psychiatrist is called Bill. I know his son's called Billy. Very confusing. But like the fact that he drugs like the chocolate sundaes or something.
Yeah.
And like the kid's like, oh, I don't like chocolate.
Yeah, so he's like,
and he's like literally like, oh, do you like tuna sandwich?
yeah, it's like how it's like he's literally doing that so he can, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's the way he's like, he says, he's like, oh, do you want anything? And she's like, I don't know, chocolate bars. And he goes, do we have any chocolate bars? And she's just,
I can go out and get some.
See, this is what I mean. We're laughing at it. It's like, oh, fucking hell. It's so bad. So bad. Fucking great. I do one thing just while I'm thinking about the film. It's like, I wonder if it's something to do with, like, because it's there's, you know, there's Alan and there's different people, but it is the way they're all connected is the three sisters.
Yeah.
And it makes me think, I wonder if there's something to do with different levels of success.
Yeah,
Stuff like that,
definitely,
you know what I mean?
definitely.
Because
And-
Joy's like the least successful. And then you've got Trish, and then you've got Helen.
And because they all feel lonely, because they're trying to compare each other.
Yeah,
that's exactly it. That's exactly it.
So I think that's probably another
Yeah,
thing going on.
yeah. And it's like that whole scene where Joy and no, not Joy, Trish and Helen, and they're like, oh, I've been busy. Yeah, I've been busy too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's just the way they ended it so awkwardly. It's just so well done.
You're so busy.
No, you are.
No, you are.
No, you are.
Guess I am.
Me too.
It's just like, you know, I could write a book if I wanted to. It's just like, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, it just goes to show it doesn't matter where you are in life, no matter how much you've got, you're always wanting more despite everything.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, the worst thing you could do is make reviews for YouTube. But...
Trust me, man. What cringe. The ending, I think, is just fucking perfect. I mean, it's nice to see the whole family together, and like the son. You know, I mean, the son he's got his own struggle with, you know, let's say masculinity. Let's just say that, and like that bit where he sees that woman in the bikini, and and obviously he starts doing whatever, and like once that happens, and like the stain is there, the fact that the dog licks it off,
Oh yeah.
goes to the mom, and starts licking her mouth. It's just like
Oh,
fucking
that's
hell.
rank. I think as another thing to add to that, when you think of like details, is that he and then he goes to his family and tells them what he's done, and I wonder,
that line,
wonder
yeah.
if that's because his dad was so fucking weird about being quite too open
Yeah.
about things that like he thinks it's normal to do
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
and it's just
exactly.
like, oh god, the way they just stare at him as well, just like, oh, what the fuck.
I honestly think that was probably the best ending I've ever.
Great last line for a film. You'd never think a film would end with that
Trust
line.
me.
And well, not a film which is mainstream, readily available.
Yeah. I wonder if the sequels, it must be available.
I don't know. I've never really looked into it. It's probably on. It might
I
be on
really want to
fucking
like.
YouTube.
We'll have to talk about it at some point.
Yeah, if you want to watch this, I mean, Happiness is on YouTube. Just search for it. Fuck it.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can watch it. You can have it on 2 tabs at the same time. You can be watching us and have the film on.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you wanted to say?
No. You got anything?
No, that's all.
Very good. So yeah, that was Happiness, the film, not the emotion. Yeah, very good fucking film. Very
Chef's
uncomfortable.
kiss.
Very uncomfortable. Very sort of
Yeah,
taboo.
Yeah, you would watch this with your family.
Good for the kids though. So yeah, we'll leave it there then. Very good film. R.I.P. Philip Seymour Hoffman, you beautiful man. If anyone else has passed away who made this film, rest in peace you, but you're not as important. So yeah, we'll leave it there. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in another video. And yeah, stay happy.